going to start with just talking about a scale. And we're going to use a diatonic major scale. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just write out one of each letter name. I'm going to start on C. And I'm going to write C to C. And I'm going to tell you that is a major scale. So if I take C to C, that's a major scale. One of each letter name, right? So I've got C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. I'm going to start on another one. I'm going to start at D, and I'm going to write out one of each letter name. And I'm going to tell you that is a diatonic scale, but it's not a major scale, even though I have one of each letter name. Now, what's the difference? And I'll even play them for you, and I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to first of all play C to C. Sounds like a major scale, doesn't it? Everybody's heard that before, right? Sounds like a major scale. Now let me play D to D. That sounds different, doesn't it?
Sounds minor.
It's definitely not a major scale, is it? What's the difference? Why does one sound one way and the other sound the other way? Yes?
Because you want a whole step.
Because why?
Instead of, I don't know, like you were.
But I can play a major scale starting on D.
Yeah.
Here, I'll play it for you. Now that sounds like a major scale, doesn't it? Why doesn't it sound like a major scale when I play it with just the natural notes? Yes?
So the key signature, you're missing the F sharp. Like
Okay, yeah, well that's true, but why? Why does it sound, that doesn't really tell me why, Rodrigo. I know you know that, somebody told you that, but I'm asking you, why doesn't that sound like a major scale? This one does. Why doesn't this one?
It sounds not happy.
Sounds not happy, but why does it sound not happy? What's the difference? What's the difference? Yes.
Does it have to do with where the half steps are placed?
That's what I wonder. Let's see. Let's see if we can figure that out, and let's see if we play with that a little bit. Let's see if that works out for makes the difference. Okay. Let's see. So how far is C to D?
Whole step.
Whole step. How far is D to E?
Whole
step.
Whole step. How far is E to F?
half
step.
Half step. How far is F to G?
Whole step.
How far is G to A?
Whole step.
How far is A to B?
Whole step.
How far is B to C?
Half step.
Half step. How far is D to E?
Whole step.
How far is E to F?
Half step.
How far is F to G?
Whole step.
How far is F to G to A?
Whole step.
A to B?
Whole step.
B to C?
Half step.
C to D?
Whole step.
Yeah. Does that look different? Where those half steps fall looks a little different, doesn't it, on between the scales? Let me play that again and keep that in mind this time. Here's the C scale. One more time. And here's the scale starting on D, just all natural notes. Sounds different, doesn't it? Okay, so I realize they sound different. Now let's test our theory. Let's see if we look at this. If we gave each step of the scale a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. We'll just call that 1. We could say, hey, between 3 and 4 and 7 and 1 are half steps. All the rest are whole steps. Would everybody agree with me on that? So 3 and 4, 7 and 1 are half steps. All the rest are whole steps. So I could say, now right now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. On this one I have a half step between 2 and 3, and a half step between 6 and 7. Now what if I could make that half step between 3 and 4? Okay, well right now I look at this and I say, okay, here's D, E, E to F is a half step. Could I make that a whole step?
Yeah.
How would I change that?
Sure.
F sharp, right? And I can't change the letter name. But I can use my sharps. Now I've got a whole step, and then F sharp to G is half step. Now I've got a half step between 3 and 4, right? So now I've got the same thing I had over here. Now, then I've got a whole step between 4 and 5. 5 to 6 is a whole step. That's what I want. But 6 to 7 is a half step here. That's B and C. Could I make that a whole step? What would I do? C sharp, right? That would make B to C. B to C sharp is a whole step. So I'll put a sharp there. And so that changes 6 to 7. Now I have the same arrangement of whole and half steps as I did in the other scale, don't I? So now let me play it with F sharp and C sharp, and let's see what it sounds like. What do you think?
Sounds happier.
But does it sound like a major scale?
Yeah.
So is the theory correct? It's the arrangement of half steps and whole steps that creates the sound of the different scales. Right? And so what do you think key signatures do?
They tell you what to sharpen flat.
They tell you how to create the right combination of half steps and whole steps so that you can get the sound of the major scale. That's all it is. That's what major key signatures do. Okay, so, but we're going to practice this just a little bit. Before we learn key signatures, I want you to practice this. What I want you to do, we're going to make tetrachords. Actually, let me leave this one up here. Let me talk about this one more time before I take that off. Okay, if I look at this as two groups of 4, if I say, okay, I've got C, D, E, F, and then I've got F, A, B, G, A, B, C, I could say, okay, here's a tetrachord, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's whole step, half step, right? And then I could say, here's another tetrachord, G, A, B, C, that's whole step, half step. So the two tetrachords in the major scale, the bottom 4 notes and the top 4 notes, are the combination of whole step, half step. They are separated by a whole step. So I have 4 notes, a whole step, half step, and then I have another set of 4 starting a whole step above that gives me the same combination of whole step, half step. And that's what makes the sound of that major scale. Okay, so what I'm going to ask you to do is practice making tetrachords. Now these are diatonic, everybody, so that means that we're going to use the letter names right in order. Right? So if I say, hey, I want you to make a tetrachord starting on E. What are the other 3 notes going to be?
E, G, and B?
No. They're going to be right. They've got to be right in. They've got to be diatonic. The next 3 notes. What are
you
they?
mean for the scale?
Diatonic.
E, F, and G.
Okay, so we started with E.
F, G, A.
F, G, A. It's going to be the next 3 notes. It's got to create a 4-note tetrachord. So if I say it starts on E, you're going to add the next 3. So you're going to have E, F, G, A. You're going to have 4 letter names right in a row. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. And when we get to G, we start over at A. Let's try another one. Let's say I told you I wanted you to start on A. Emily, what would the next 3 notes be?
B, C, and D.
Correct. B, C, D. A, B, C, D. Good. If I started on G flat, what would the next 4 notes be? So, Sylvester.
B flat,
No, I'm starting on G flat.
G flat, A, B, C.
Just A, B, C, wouldn't it? Now it might be some other accidentals in here. We don't know yet, but I'm just saying, whatever note I tell you to start on, you're going to just write the next 3 letter names to get the diatonic. I want 4 notes right in a row. These are diatonic tetrachords. All right, then we can look at them and we can say, okay, we want the arrangement to be whole step, half step. So underneath all of them, I'm just going to write whole step, half step, whole step, half step. Okay? And then I can say, okay, how far is E to F? So what do I need to make that a whole step? What is that going to be then? F sharp. And then I say, okay, how far is F sharp to G?
Half step.
Half step. I need a whole step, so it's going to be G sharp. How far is G sharp to A?
Half step.
Half step. So that's good. We'll leave that one. How far is A to B?
Whole step.
Whole step. We'll leave that. B to C is half step, so I need C sharp. How far is C sharp to D? Half step. That's good. How far is G flat to A?
Half step.
Okay, here's G flat. Oh, here's G flat. Here's A.
Oh. Do you have
Step and a half. So what do I need to do to A to make it a whole step? I put an A flat, right? How far is A flat to B? So what do I need there? B flat. Now I want a half step here. How far is B flat to C? So I need, what do I need? C flat, right? So they're all going to be flat. So again, we're playing with, what are we doing here? What are we using? Diatonic whole steps and diatonic half steps. That's what we're doing, everybody. This is all diatonic whole steps, diatonic half steps. That's why it's important that we're able to do those.